upset because I hurt myself. I was really upset at my partner who was behind me.
Laughing?
Doing the arrest. And he's laughing so hard, he can't even yell.
He couldn't read the guy's rights.
He couldn't. I had to sit there and handcuff this guy, read him his rights while I'm bleeding on him, but he's over there belly aching. If there was ever a time to shoot your partner, that was the time.
You're mistaken about it, because I looked at.
You've seen the video, right?
I laughed so hard, I sobbed, and I couldn't talk for like 30 minutes because it was so funny the way he rolled down those steps and got up like it was all planned.
Still running.
Oh my gosh.
The best part is the actual video, the actual police video of that, where you hear the crowd.
The best part is the audio coming from it.
I was trying to say the audio from it. I've heard it. And that lady, when she called Robin, did you see that Chinaman do that roll?
Do the ninja roll.
Yeah. That is like the best part of the whole thing. I don't think that was on YouTube.
I was already upset and I was bleeding. I got the guy under control, and everybody's kind of chuckling and laughing their butts off. And all of a sudden, it got quiet. And this old redneck lady had to come out and yell at the top of her lungs in front of everybody. Did you see that little Chinaman do that judo roll? Ninja roll? I'm like, what? And everybody fell out.
That was it.
That got him. Yeah.
That's over 20 years ago, and I'm still not living it down. So,
well, you shouldn't.
First of all, Robin, that was not 20 years ago.
We're not going to let you live it down, Robin.
No, it was not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was not 20 years ago. So.
I will never let
it's over 15 years ago.
It's about 15 years ago.
If you ever need to be kept under control and keep your facts straight, just ask Kelly. She'll take care of you, Robin.
That's right. Y'all know this. All right, Robin, go to work now. Bye. See you later.
See?
Wow.
Bye, Robin.
Wow.
Sanity's not running. Goes, I'm going to make you mad again.
Do it.
May as well leave on a good note today.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yep.
Were you aware that illegals have been approved for Federal Housing Administration mortgages? Taxpayer dollars have been loaned to illegals under the FHA under a program started by the Biden administration. Thank goodness that's ending. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, terminated some mortgages for illegal immigrants in an effort to ensure federal home loans do not go to those living in this country illegally. They said they're terminating some of the mortgages. I'm concerned about that part too. Hopefully they mean all of them.
Correct. Well, once again, until the Americans can be afforded these same opportunities, absolutely not should they get them.
Well, HUD is saying, as one of the pluses in doing this is they'll be able now to approve FHA loans for Americans.
Well, why haven't they already been doing
because the Biden administration says, other people have more rights than we got.
I don't want
to. I'm serious.
That makes my blood boil.
How much additional misappropriation of federal tax dollars will be uncovered before all of this is over with? Not just FHA. Look at I just cannot imagine how much money has been misspent, misappropriated. We read about it every day. You guys who are screaming and hollering about this guy, what's his name? The Doge man? Elon. You're screaming and hollering about it. His group is uncovering where there have been misspent, misappropriated, illegal, and now what they're also finding out, some of that stuff was done strictly illegally, and now somebody is going to have to pay the piper because the federal government's prosecutor, Ms. Bondi, she's going after him. The U.S. attorney has now got these cases. Anytime they find what looks like a criminal act, this misappropriations is one thing. Fraud is a criminal act. It's a different, it comes under a different category. Misappropriating something is, it's a stupid paperwork error or something you've done because you were dumb or something that was done because you were sneaky and you wanted to use that money for something else. Not exactly thieving. Fraud is theft. Fraud is conning somebody out of their money.
Yes.
And now she's going after them. Our Attorney General's office is going to go after them. Thank God. How much additional misappropriation of federal tax dollars before all of it's over? I hope that all of us you, me, and y'all will keep our eyes on the willful, deceitful, and likely illegal activities of all of the current agencies and their past operations. And there are apparently hundreds of those operations out there that are spending our money like it grows on trees.
Wow.
We've all heard spending money like a drunken sailor.
Yes.
I heard one sailor one time. I read the story about
Amazon and
him.
Temu.
I heard about this one sailor one time. He said he resented that. He says, I've been a drunken sailor many times, but I knew when to stop spending money when I ran out.
Yeah, generally that's a good reason to stop.
That's the way it is out there. You guys, coming up beginning next week, it's the Azalea Festival. It's the 78th Azalea Festival here in North Carolina. 78th.
Yeah.
It started 77 years ago.
Right.
The first one was in 1948. Had a big old parade downtown, and I got some interesting parade footage over there from, I think, 53 and 54. 16 millimeter film. I'm trying to get all that stuff transferred. I didn't shoot it.
Can you convert that?
Yes, it can be converted. I just got to find somebody I trust to do that. I got several pieces of 16 millimeter film I want to get transferred over to video, to digital. But that's, just imagine way back when. And that film, by the way, is color.
Oh,
it was shot in color.
Nice.
So I'll be anxious to see some of those old things like that. I don't want to run it through anything without it being protected. Right. But that's that would have been about 75 years ago.
Right. Wow.
Imagine that.
I can't.
There's history over there in that drawer.
None of us can.
I can.
You can. None of us can.
But this is I know you haven't been. I know the traffic's bad, but you go to places where the traffic's bad all the time. You go to festivals all the time where you can't walk the streets or you can only walk the streets because there are too many people there in cars, right?
I'm sure they'll have designated parking areas.
There will be places to park, and the parade itself is going to bring in. In the past, has brought in as many as 250,000 people.
Yes,
I've seen the empty field right there in Hampstead where they'll bus you in. You can park. They'll charge you to park and bus you all the way in.
To pick me up on my daughter's house.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But there are places to do it. They have parking. A lot of the people in town and near downtown, and they'll open up their side lots or even their big front lawns and let you park there. Pay them $5 or $10 or whatever.
Hey, I got a local story for you that just broke this morning. 2 Lenoir County jail employees were arrested yesterday after deputies said they were providing drugs to inmates.
Oh, how dumb are you? I mean, they deserve everything they get.
The sheriff's office said Shanika Reed, 37 of Magnolia, and Ladarius Hines, 26 of Kinston, were arrested following a criminal investigation by administration officials at the jail and the Lenoir County Sheriff's Office narcotic detectives. She's a medical technician at the jail, and
she used to be.
And they're in jail now. They're getting to see it from the inside now.
How stupid. They deserve everything they get.
It happens more often than we would like to think.
Yes.
You're going to have opportunities. Prisons are a lot worse than jails. Jails are smaller, and a guy called a sheriff is in charge of every jail in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the sheriffs take things like that real personal, and they will make your lives miserable. And I'm talking about for the rest of your life.
Yeah, she entered the jail, entered the detention center yesterday and had narcotics on her. And Hines, the guy that worked at the detention center, was not working on Wednesday. However, deputies said the investigation found that he conspired to distribute the drugs to the inmates.
First of all,
Dumb.
Let me explain this to you. Inmates are in there because they've done bad things, right?
Right.
They've done bad things and they're waiting for trial.
Right.
Now, these guys there, do you not think they're going to make a deal with somebody? Perhaps, hey, we got a jailer here. Give me a narcotics officer, and let me make a deal with him, and let me tell him who's doing what and how they're doing it, and maybe you'll speak up for me at my trial.
Well,
who are you dealing with?
Yeah, she was given a $35,000 secured bond, and he was issued a $10,000 secured bond.
That means
they're both still currently being held.
I would imagine.
Get to see it from the other side.
Okay, Theo wants to go to the Azalea Festival. Anybody want to take him?
Horribles, what's going on?
It's all Azalea time. What about you?
I don't know. I recognize that ball-headed spot anywhere.
Huh.
That's my best
welcome,
side.
Tim.
It's not completely bad. Oh, you're talking about Timmy. Okay.
Yeah, that spot that I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
my best side, bro.
Put a happy face on it, buddy.
I was next time I'll try to do that. I'll get him to put one up there for you.
Why don't you just have them cut it in one of those, some kind of a lettering on the back of it?
I don't feel bad, Tim. I have one too.
Yeah, we all getting it.
Yeah. So I heard Elon Musk is coming to Onslow County. He wants to purge the commissioners. He thinks there's too many of them.
Hey, if it says it's
Yeah, he's going to come and purge them because I'm not sure how many he's going to cut, but he's going to cut a few of them.
well, hey,
If
if
go
we
back
can
to,
get
what was it, 5 or 7? What did we have before and they added 2 more?
They had 5 before. We now have 7.
Yeah, I think he's going to cut it down to 5 or 4. He thinks that he can take care of Onslow County with about 3 or 4.
Can't do it with 5, with under 5. It's illegal.
Yeah. So I was listening to my commissioner, and he said about 4 years ago that Biden would not do anything. 4 years ago, Biden at this time was he had a COVID-19 on his hands. More important saving lives than going around getting gang members.
Really?
And,
Could you do both?
And he also said that they went and rounded up some illegal immigrants back. You forgot to go to Mar-a-Lago because there were 73 illegal aliens cleaning up Mar-a-Lago. You forgot to go over there and get them.
Anybody
You know
seen
what I
that? Anybody seen that information?
Check it out.
repeat that one more
He said
time.
that, Trump had 73, 75 illegals working on Mar-a-Lago. Do we know anything
Cleaning
about
it
that?
up, cleaning service, and all the details that they were doing. Back in when he first came in to be a president, all those people working Mar-a-Lago were illegal.
That was a story that came out in 1924. I mean, sorry, 2024. Boy, I'm going way back.
Okay, is it true?
And it says, well, it depends on, let me see.
Yeah, they were trying to get him passports. Go ahead, find out. And let me ask you something, Tim.
Yeah.
No, round these people up, and we just ship them on a plane to another country. Did you know that there's a legal immigrant, a gay person? He's sitting in El Salvador jail right now because they didn't do the proper procedures.
Wouldn't doubt it.
An illegal
What do you
gay
mean you
person.
won't
Wait a
doubt
minute,
it?
hold
Illegal, I just said
Okay.
legal immigrant.
I wouldn't doubt it.
on. Did you say an illegal alien that came
I
into
said
this?
a legal immigrant,
Legal
Uh,
immigrant.
a gay person is
Gay-
in El Salvador right now.
Well, I don't know what gays got to do with
Okay.
it, but okay. I mean, yeah.
I'm just letting you know
I understand.
that being gay in that kind of an environment, the poor guy is horrible right now for him, right? Right?
All depends
Oh, it depends on what.
if he likes it or not.
Let me jump in real quick. The first news story I came across from a news source that we're all familiar with said that he had hired more than 100 foreign workers in 2023,
Wow.
which was at his hotels, at Mar-a-Lago, other places. It did not say illegal immigrants. It said
Okay.
foreign workers. That's the first one I found.
Hold on, she's got more.
Okay.
That's the first one I found. I'm still looking at. You have to be so careful with these
Yeah, the stories.
stories. It depends on who writes them,
Yeah.
because they have these websites called like the Raw Story,
And then you've got, it depends upon who reads them and misinterprets them or
or
whatever.
the Daily Mint and stuff like that. Where do they get this stuff?
And Theo, I compare that what you just said. If he's legal, I feel sorry for him. But then you got to look at our United States and over the past years and years and years of people who have been convicted of crimes and then years later found out they were innocent. So it happens.
Exactly.
It happens.
Exactly.
But
It
you're right.
happens?
And I feel for him if he's legal and he's there, I feel for him.
Here is another news story that said
But it
that
happens.
Why is
he
he there?
hired a total of 136 foreign workers for seasonal work It does not say they're illegal immigrants or they're undocumented. It says foreign. So
Okay, go back to 2016, not now. Okay,
so now
So,
we're going back to 26.
Rayford,
Okay.
Yes,
46,000. Kane,
yes.
rhetoric of the day. Where were they going? To Florida?
I think this was West Coast, wasn't it?
Was it West Coast? I'm not sure. I remember that story that you gave us.
You know,
46,000, 14 boats,
yeah,
cocaine,
yeah.
and something like 23 marijuana.
That was over a period of time. A bunch of vessels and planes were involved in that. It was a Coast Guard led operation, but it also involved Customs and DEA. And but yeah, they rounded up a bunch of them. A lot of coke, a lot of other stuff.
Where on the south, east coast or west coast?
It was on the West Coast. But if you want to take a look also at 46,000 pounds of cocaine is in a single bus, a whole bunch of coke. But they got these in numerous vessels that they intercepted. Now, if you do the same, I know where you're going. You're going to try to say, well, that's a lot of stuff, and that was nothing, didn't even come across the southern border. Well, yeah, but look at the amount that comes
2016.
across the southern border. Look at the thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of fentanyl that they pick up every day. Or had been picking up every day.
How about the coke that you just said that they rounded up that last week or 2 weeks ago? How about the other 50 weeks? What happens then?
They pick up this and that and wherever along the coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime they go after it, if they really
Exactly.
have a mounted concentration, and when they put a lot of people out there trying to do interdictions, Theo, they're usually acting on tips that some stuff is happening because they got sources in these other countries. They got they didn't just board these boats for no reason. They knew that there was something there. That's what you go after. You got to understand law enforcement.
How are you going to stop cocaine when you had this problem for years now, Rayford?
They've been stopping it. They've been picking it up on a regular basis, just like they pick up pot on a regular basis.
Anyway,
minor to
another
who?
question.
Dio, I found your news article, and this is from your favorite news source, CNN. And it says this is 2016. Most of the requests for foreign workers concern the Mar-a-Lago Club, Trump's exclusive crown jewel property that is both a resort and sports club, blah, blah, blah. Is said in the past 10 years, 849 foreign guest workers were approved for the resort. And most of these were like servers, cooks, housekeepers. And it said a majority of these workers were brought in on what is known as the H-2B visa and came from a small group of countries, according to the current and former workers. The countries of preference were Romania and South Africa. So they came in legally. So that's what I found so far. I'm still looking.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still looking. But that was
All
from
right.
CNN 2016.
But Theo, you talking
And
about
the other question, Tim,
Yes, sir.
that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, what do you think should happen to him after what happened a couple of days ago?
I'm not familiar with that. What are you talking about?
Well,
Enlighten me.
maybe you should ask Commissioner Robin because he loves this guy.
Okay.
Ask him if he qualified. Why did we have this problem 2 days ago, and we make our country look so bad with this guy?
Okay. Well, I got something for you. You were talking about the drugs and trafficking and stuff like this. This happened to me in the 90s and early 2000s. I'd have a run that I would leave Wilmington, North Carolina. I'd go to Jacksonville, Florida. I'd leave there, go to Orlando, and wind up in Tampa. Okay? At night. Exit 181 in South Carolina. There's a Flying J on one side of the interstate and a Pilot on the other. We'd pull into the Pilot because it was quicker to get in and get out and get your fuel. Okay, I was approached 4 times. Where you headed there, driver? I said, well, I'm going to Jacksonville first. He said, we'll give you this amount of money. And he was holding a suitcase now, a little briefcase. If you'll drop that off at the Little Champ truck stop on Commonwealth Avenue. And I would decline. And it was an awesome sum of money. Now, I didn't know what was in it. I had an idea, but it was one of two things. It was either money or it was drugs. And it bothered me because usually drugs come from the south up toward the north. So this was going from the north to the south. And some people took that. And I saw one, when he hit the Georgia scales, and he was in front of me, they pulled him around. And there was oh my, yeah. And it, no, this was, a lot of it was legit, but but there was always a decoy. This guy happened to be the decoy.
Gotcha.
And I found out the next night I came through and stopped at the way station, and I always got pulled in if I was hauling a load of tile because I was overweight, and the company knew it, and the company would pay the fine because it wasn't high.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd pull in there and I'd ask the lady, well, I come through southbound last night, and I saw, oh yeah, he had a suitcase full of money. Couldn't understand. He didn't have a bill of lading for it. That's what got him. And so they did the investigation. It happened, and this was back in the 90s and 2000s. I was only approached 4 times, and I declined all 4 times because I was scared to death I'd be the decoy.
There you go.
Good man.
So it's running rampant. But like I said, I couldn't understand it. The drugs always came Florida up toward the north. But so it had to be money or something else. But I would decline it because I didn't want to wind up in jail. And the lady told me, said he won't be getting out for a while.
No. When they set you up like that, then you won't be driving a truck anymore either.
So 95 is the cocaine highway.
It's the cocaine corridor. It's been the drug corridor for a long time. And then they got even the highway patrol, the regular normal highway patrol along Interstate 95 in North Carolina. They know what they're looking for, and they are not going to tell you what they're looking for. They do profile. They have got special things that they're profiling.
Well, I'll tell you what the North Carolina Highway Patrol also has done, and I applaud it too. Mm-hmm. You have DMV, motor carrier, and you have highway patrol. Mm-hmm. Okay, they have started taking some of these highway patrolmen and certifying them for a class 3 inspection on trucks. And I applaud that. And people say, well, that's the stupidest thing. They don't know anything about trucks. Well, they go through the certification class they do. Because I've been stopped with them. Hey, man, can I get a class 3? You better not say no. I mean, you're in trouble. Yes, sir.
Tim, don't tell Trump that they're coming out of Florida. He might throw some tariffs on them.
He might. That's you.
Okay?
Oh, he might. Man, hey, we'll take the money.
We'll take them. Not a problem.
But I agree with you.
Yes.
What do you think of Pete Hegseth?
I never liked him as a possible choice for the position. I liked him when he was on the air. I'm sure he was a fine soldier when he was in service. He stayed true to the colors. A patriotic individual. The only thing, hold on. The only thing I'd say good about him being in the position is at least he has a working knowledge of the military. Yeah. And we've had so many people in there who were like, they couldn't even salute.
Come on, Rayford. Come on. You're kidding yourself. Listen, how come in that group there was no military man in there?
Oh, you mean the cabinet? You talking about the cabinet members?
Yeah, the cabinet members that were talking about a strike. How come there was no military man in that group? Don't you think there should have been a military man, Joint Chief of Staff or something?
Do we know exactly list by list?
Yeah, I know who was there. Yes, there were members of the cabinet, but the Department of, the Secretary of Defense represents all of the military.
Right.
But not a military man. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so what do you think should happen now? Should the apprentice, the genius, go and say you're fired?
No, I don't know anything about that. What I would want to do, though, is very quickly, as they have found out, somehow basically a paper pushing secretary, if you want to call him anything else, but that had access and stupidly put this individual on a list. And this individual who should have been the last reporter to put on the list ended up with this information.
Yeah.
And that was done all the way around.
It could have been
No,
a more dangerous person.
they've already got that tracked down. They know who did it.
Yeah, they did.
That's a done deal.
Yeah.
So what do you think should happen?
To whom? That individual fired, gone. You're toast. And the whole system better be tightened up.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can, good God. And I do not buy the crap that Pete said. I do not buy the crap. He said, well, we discussed nothing really that would have made any difference. I don't care. It
Right.
was secret. I don't care what you discussed. I don't care if you talked about your lunch. This reporter did not have access to it, should not have had access to it. Period.
Exactly.
Bottom line. So,
Okay.
how does that?
National security. All right. So I'll leave you guys. Tim, nice to see you again.
Nice. I got one thing to tell you before you leave. Your son,
Oh.
Yeah.
he has. Well, you know about how old he is now. He's really came out. He is impregnated his first Jenny.
Oh my gosh.
And he's better than any watchdog you'll ever find. He's just like his daddy now. If anybody pulls into my driveway at the mailbox, he's letting you know. And he has turned out to be as good as his daddy. Theo Jr. is the top son.
You are going to have another grandchild, Theo.
Tim.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tim.
Yes,
My
sir.
son that you never gave me.
Well,
He gives you a ride on him.
I had him
All right.
sold in St. Diane,
You
wouldn't let
had
me do it.
going, and all of a sudden Diane fell in love with him.
Yep.
A promise is a promise.
Okay, guys,
I know.
I got to go wash my car.
But I want to tell you that he has really done. He's really come out, Theo.
All right.
He's done good. I want to tell
Thank
you
you,
that.
Theo.
Bye,
All right,
Theo.
take care. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
you too. We got one more commercial we still got to make up
Oh,
here.
good. Let's do that.
Let's take that and then we'll say goodbye right after this. You're live in local real talk, but we will be right back. Don't go
The
away.
78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival is proud to present Justin Moore.
That's why we drank. Here's to the ones who didn't make it back home. You look like I need a drink.
Thursday, April 3rd at Live Oak Bank Pavilion in Wilmington with Cameron Marlowe,
Cause I'm getting you.
Justin Moore.
Somebody else will.
Thursday, April 3rd in Wilmington. Tickets on sale now at ncazaleafestival.org. Also performing at this year's North Carolina Azalea Festival, Flo Rida, the 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
Thanks in part to the North Carolina Education Lottery. Playing and supporting the North Carolina Education Lottery creates a world of winning possibilities for the entire state. Through the fun of play and the billions we raise for education, we provide the fuel for our most important dreams. By Michael Best, a go-to strategic advisor offering full-service legal and business consulting services. Learn more at michaelbest.com. And the City of Wilmington, proud to support the 78th Annual North Carolina Azalea Festival.
ncazaleafestival.org.
And don't forget that festival. It kicks off next week. It's going to be running hot, and there we go. It's going to be a lot of good times down in the
Yes.
Wilmington area, and a lot of the stuff is free. You don't have to spend a nickel for it. You're good to go. The parade, of course, and a lot of the other shows and stuff that are happening down there. The
It's a
street
good
fair.
time.
You'll if you go down, you really should take in the street fair as well. It's a
If I didn't have to worry about my animals, I probably would have just booked a room for the weekend and,
Too late for
started
that.
yeah, it's too late. It's full.
but you got a room up there in Hampstead.
That's true. I do. That's true. And I can leave the dogs there.
There you go.
See,
I mean, it's time
problem
to
solved.
trade out, right?
Solved.
Solved.
Payback. So anyway, yeah, it's going on. It kicks off next week. Next Wednesday is the first official big day of it.
Right.
So you go out and enjoy it. Just as we used to say in the media down there, that's the time we would hang up our press credentials
Right.
because we were covering all things Azalea because
There
it
you
was
go.
all about the community.
Very nice.
It's wall to wall. We did a lot of live coverage too.
Yeah. It's a very good time.
It is. And
Very established type.
yeah, and just
event.
the walking tour downtown of the houses, and just get on some of those old historic homes and just get up and read the plaques that are on the walls
Mhm.
there. You will be amazed, and you will find things called pineapples, concrete pineapples.
Yes,
You know
yes.
what? That's friendly. That
Yes.
means the place is.
No, there's a history behind that.
It's
Yes.
a friendly
Mhm.
place for you to come. So,
Agree.
I like going
Nice.
downtown. I mean,
We've
I
talked
have
about that.
I have delivered downtown Wilmington, and they look at me like I'm, oh my God, why are you here? But I have no choice.
Mhm.
But it's
well, there are a lot of big trucks that deliver downtown.
yeah, not supposed to be there.
I have walked
They
the
do.
mail routes.
But the
down
way
there.
my trailer works, I have a tilt trailer. The way that trailer works, I can slide the wheels forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just hit a button. They'll just
I have
Really?
a tilt trailer
and I can
too.
go in there and I can turn those sharp corners. And we have a couple of companies that we haul forklifts and stuff for. So people want to rent a forklift for a couple of days, and they'll call us, and we'll go in there and take it in and
Speaking
go
of
back and
trucks,
get it.
I sent you a picture of that sign yesterday where they're looking for truck drivers and stuff
Yeah.
to deliver wreaths. And,
Yeah.
across a whole bunch of truck drivers are doing that. Truckers.
Yeah,
trucking
they've been
companies.
doing that for a long time, volunteering to go
Yeah.
pick them up and then bring them
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
different
You
places
get guys that take days off
Yes.
and just
at their expense.
Yeah.
Yes, their
makes
contribution.
and you got to understand that there's a lot, and there's not as many as there used to be. But back in earlier days, when I was a young truck driver, you had a lot, and I'm talking about a bunch of people that had either retired out of the service or they left the service and they were driving trucks. And I was a young guy when I started out, and this and that, and they come in there and we sat at the truck stops when we were on back then it was an 8-hour break and you go to bed. But we sat in the lounge and we sat at the restaurant, and we had truck stops back then. We had the 76, and we still had Petro and other ones, but it was a truck stop where you got together and talked.
And where you knew that the other people like me, knew that it was a good place to eat.
Yeah,
If the truckers
they had
go stop
great
there like
food.
that, I'm going to get some good food and lots of it.
And we go in there and we'd sit down and I was a young guy. Hey, Ricky, how long you been out here? Not too long. And well, where are you from? And I'd always do it for me. I said, I'm Al Holler, North Carolina. You don't know where that is. No. And they'd all be wearing their military ball caps.
Right.
And I look at one of them. I said, I said, you know about Camp Lejeune? Oh, yeah. I spent son, Camp Lejeune. I said, well, I'm about 14 miles from there. Oh, really? Well, then some guy he'd have his army cap on.
Right.
I said, you know about Bragg? I'm about 2 hours from Bragg. And we sit there and I listened to him. And it was a fantastic family. We had a family. It's not like that anymore. Nobody has the CBs hardly anymore except us old timers. They're all using their GPSs. That's why you can look on YouTube, TikTok, and see where some truck driver is up in the mountains and his truck's over here, his trailer's over here, and there's a drop right here because he was following GPS. It's called a Rand McNally, folks. We used to buy them and plan your trip.
It's called a map.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
But it was fun.
Reverend, you talk about trucks going up and getting the wreaths and stuff. There was that one year where the group that I was working with for Wreaths Across America had gotten word that the wreaths that they had ordered and paid for, that it got missed on the truck. And so we were talking several thousand or more wreaths, and a group of us had actually packed our bags and gone to rent U-Hauls. We were ready to get the U-Haul because we had made arrangements to meet them halfway and get those wreaths. And then that's when the wreath company was able to make arrangements and get us our wreaths. And that was the year everything got covered because they sent extra ones.
Sure.
But yeah, these men and women that they take it upon themselves. They pay for their own gas. They pay for everything, all the expenses. They go up there and they get the wreaths.
I could go up there because there's some great lobster in Maine that I could.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
I was thinking the same thing.
I've been at the cemetery before when the trucks rolled in to bring the wreaths. It is an awesome sight because a lot of these 18-wheelers have stuff, they have the wrap on their U-Hauls.
Oh, yes.
I mean, on their trailers
trucks, all over.
Yeah, all over. It is awesome to watch. Awesome to watch. People. Yeah, proud people. Very proud.
You don't see that much anymore, but they were proud.
I remember talking to one man and woman that do it every single year, and they said that they live for that time of the year. That's what they do.
I had a friend down in Florida. He retired from trucking, bought a Winnebago. It lasted a month.
Right.
He would take his wife around where he went, and he was company driver. So he went back, and he special ordered a Peterbilt with a extra long sleeper. Put it in him and his wife's name, and he was silent, but she walked right into Budweiser she got a contract to haul. She hauled beer out of Jacksonville, Florida,
Really?
and they would go all over the country with it. And they would this destination. They would go back and they would get aluminum. They'd slide it in the trailer. Well, they made the cans in Gainesville.
Oh,
So they would go back to Gainesville, drop it, get the aluminum off, and then go back to Jacksonville.
best buds.
And they went and they had a shower in the truck
yeah.
and all the comforts of home. They just ran
I've seen a couple of those trucks built, the custom things, and they had a living.
Yeah.
It was a living quarters.
Yeah, she could cook, do what she wanted
Yeah.
to do, and she sat back and she knitted, did what she wanted. He drove.
It was a home on wheels.
But it was on, yeah, and he
Yeah.
loved it. He said, I couldn't stand riding down the highway not making money.
Well, that's better than a Winnebago.
Yeah.
Don't pay for that trip.
And they would stop.
On vacation year round.
They would stop if they went some because they went all over. But they would stop. So we're going to take some time off. Yes, sir. Get right ahead.
Maybe I should do that. Robbie and I should do that with
Yeah.
a boat. We could just
Yeah,
travel up and
there
down
you
the
go.
coast, and we didn't haul stuff. But the problem is hauling the stuff. You have to. The only thing you can find to haul would be illegal, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. Okay, we're going to see y'all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
gotta
Timmy,
go.
thank you as
Yeah.
always. Good luck.
Oh,
with
I
your-
enjoyed it.
Good luck with your
Yeah.
medical people.
Oh, yeah. They're just going to look. Only one frowns at me is the endocrinologist. Everybody else happy.
No,
And
okay.
they like that copay.
So the proctologist is happy.
If I can get a minute, I'm going to try to go there and see Peter. I want to ask, got some questions to ask.
Okay, today be a good day.
Yep.
This is his last day there.
This is last
Is it?
day there.
Yep. Until
Yes.
next October.
Oh, okay.
So you need to go between 10 and 3
Okay.
today
Yeah, I'm going to do
You
that.
know where it is?
Yeah, it's right at the Walmart.
at the
You should
Boulevard.
take them some lunch when you go.
At the Boulevard.
Boulevard.
The
West
Boulevard.
It's
Boulevard.
in the car park back behind
car park.
the Golden Corral
Yeah.
on the
You
boulevard.
can park your car back there in the car park.
Well, on the boulevard.
I'll be right across there at First Med. So
Oh, you can do it right around the corner.
Or if you don't want to go, just look them up on foxplans.com.
You'll get all the plugs in there.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
Y'all have a good one.
Ta-ta.
I appreciate it.
Ta-ta.
All right, we'll see you next go around.
Yep.
Thank you. You're live and local Real Talk. We've had a blast as always, and we'll be back again tomorrow. If the creeks don't rise too high, and there's no rain predicted right now, so they're not going to. Goodbye.